This is one of the best episodes of SpongeBob SquarePants.
F is for friends who do stuff together. U is for you and me.
And this is one of the worst.
All that glitters is not gold.
While some SpongeBob episodes are absolute classics, others are, well, just painful to watch. So today, we're diving into every season of SpongeBob to find the best and worst episodes from each one.
Are ya ready, kids?
Aye, aye, Captain!
Starting with Pickles. Ladies and gentlemen, this episode is an absolute masterpiece. Forget season 1. This could easily be one of the best SpongeBob episodes ever. It begins with the Krusty Krab, and right away we see SpongeBob putting his heart and soul into the one thing he loves more than Gary, making Krabby Patties.
Thanks, Farmer Brown.
Talk about dedication. You'd almost never be able to guess that SpongeBob earns next to nothing at the Krusty Krab, but SpongeBob's picture-perfect day is about to be ruined.
I'll take a double triple bossy deluxe on a raft, 4x4 animal style, burn it and let it swim.
We serve food here, sir.
Turns out this particular customer is Bubble Bass, a notorious picky, loud-mouthed customer.
SquarePants. I hear talk you make a mean Krabby Patty.
Yep. I hear talk you're kinda picky.
And sure enough, it didn't take long for Bubble Bass to deliver the famous line that destroyed SpongeBob.
Only one thing. You forgot the pickles!
But despite everything going on with SpongeBob, a little part of me was satisfied seeing someone beat Mr. Krabs in his own money-pinching ways.
I believe you owe me $2.
$2?
Your guarantee.
Oh, that. Well, can we talk about this?
No.
Look at Mr. Krabs making all this fuss over $2. 2! He probably thought it was smart putting up a money-back guarantee that most people wouldn't see. And after all this, he still had the gall to try and make his money off SpongeBob, who's clearly still struggling after Bubble Bass's rebuke.
I know I put pickles on that Krabby Patty.
That $2 is coming out of your paycheck. Get back to work. We got orders waiting.
Eugene, you barely pay your fry cook to begin with, remember? Funny how every time I watch SpongeBob, I'm reminded of how crooked this crab is. But that's the least of SpongeBob's problems, because now he just can't seem to make a Krabby Patty anymore.
Mustard, then ketchup, lettuce, then the pickles? No. Oh, bang, I'm losing it!
Now, this is one of the moments that makes this episode so iconic. Because of his performance issues, Mr. Krabs had no choice but to send SpongeBob home. But even though SpongeBob was in the middle of a mental breakdown, the writers were still able to perfectly blend in humor into this moment.
The door! The door! Mr. Krabs! The front door is missing! Oh. Sorry about that, Mr. Krabs. Which way do I live? Of course.
Mwah! Chef's kiss. SpongeBob's condition becomes so bad that he even forgets how to sleep. All this because of one customer's critique.
Good night, Gary. Aw, this isn't right. Nope.
Meanwhile, things weren't going so well at the Krusty Krab without SpongeBob, as you can imagine.
He burnt my fries!
He burnt my shake.
No, come back. No. I gotta get SpongeBob back.
Mr. Krabs could see his money disappearing before his eyes and finally realized that he had to find a way to save SpongeBob and his bottom line. And after one failed attempt,
No.
and another,
I got it! It's all very clear to me now, Mr. Krabs.
It is?
I can't do it, Mr. Krabs! I'm a failure!
SpongeBob finally gets his act together and gets his head back into the game.
I can't put a patty on a bun with lettuce, cheese, onions, tomatoes, ketchup, mustard, pickles, and top bun together in that order!
It's time.
If the episode ended here, it still would have been amazing, but clearly SpongeBob isn't the only one good in the kitchen because the writers were still cooking.
I hear SquarePants is back.
This is where I belong.
And that is the genius of this episode. We not only get to see SpongeBob recover from a terrible slump, but we also get to see a confident version of the character that we rarely get to see.
This time, don't forget the pickles.
I didn't.
Look at how fast he made that patty. This is one confident sponge, and he showed it.
Still no pickles! See? You failed again, SpongeBob loser pants.
been hiding the pickles under his tongue the whole time.
The old SpongeBob would have cowered and cried when told he made a mistake, but confident SpongeBob, he calls out Bubble Bass and exposes him as a fraud. I know I've said this before, but this episode is a masterpiece.
Hip hip! Hip hip!
Oh boy!
Episodes like Pickles always remind me of why I fell in love with SpongeBob in the first place. But while Pickles was amazing, the worst episode of that same season was Miles Off. Now, even though we love SpongeBob, we gotta admit sometimes he can be a bit annoying. Yes, even in season 1. And my, was he annoying in this episode. And I guess we can only blame Mr. Krabs for that.
It wouldn't be those totally hip new flipper slippers all my friends are wearing, would it?
It might be.
I mean, Dad, you really shouldn't have.
Mr. Krabs isn't even worried that he got such a terrible gift for his teenage daughter. He's more concerned about the money he spent on the shoes. Enter SpongeBob, the perfect mark for Krabs' con.
Can I get my paycheck?
Sponge Boy, me Bob! Have a seat anywhere, but not on these beautiful, priceless boots.
Now, Mr. Krabs had a plan to get rid of the boots, and there was only one person he knew that would be gullible enough to not only take the boots, but to give him far more.
What if I give you my Krusty Krab paycheck? And what if I paint the Krusty Krab for free?
You're gonna do
And I'll throw in a year's supply of French fry oil.
You're gonna hold on there, lad!
Only Krabs knew how much he was going to regret this. But that's basically the core of the episode. The remaining runtime is just SpongeBob annoying audiences, Squidward, and Mr. Krabs alike.
That squeaking is gonna drive us all crazy!
It got so bad that Mr. Krabs had to pay a visit to SpongeBob in the middle of the night.
I wasn't ready for those blessed boots.
Poor lad.
Now, while an episode like Pickles told an amazing story with humor and depth, Squeaky Boots seems to have relied on this.
And this, and this, and this, and this, and this.
And it got stale fast.
Can I help you?
Yeah, I'm ready to order. I'll take
What did you say?
I said I'll take
Huh?
In the end, Krabs can't take it anymore and confesses before actually eating the boots.
I can't take the infernal squeaking no more!
For me, the only good takeaway from this episode was seeing Mr. Krabs paying SpongeBob the paycheck he conned out of him, and maybe Squidward getting a vacation.
Plus a bonus. Well, there's your paycheck anyway.
I guess even the creators knew this episode couldn't hold up compared to episodes like Pickles, because even though it was the third episode of SpongeBob created, it was released as the 16th. This episode still had its funny moments though, and it's far from the worst episode in the series. But yeah, it is the worst episode of season 1 bar none. Alright, that was season 1, and it already set the bar pretty high. But season 2 didn't just live up to it, it gave us some SpongeBob's most iconic moments ever. You know, some fans think Band Geeks is the best episode of the entire series. And I'm tempted to agree, because when an episode is so good that it makes it to the Super Bowl halftime show, it certainly deserves to be up there as not only one of the greatest episodes in SpongeBob, but one of the most iconic cartoon episodes ever conceived.
Squilliam fancy son from band class?
It all begins with Squidward getting a call from his old high school rival, Squilliam Fancyson.
I'm the leader of a big fancy band now, and we're supposed to play the Bubble Bowl. I'm living your dreams, Squidward.
Poor Squiddy. It must have hurt getting mocked by Squilliam, so I kinda understand why he did this, to save whatever pride he had left.
You don't even have a band.
I do have a band, and we're gonna play that Bubble Bowl.
But there was a slight problem. Squidward doesn't even have a band. He somehow had to find one good enough to perform at the Bubble Bowl, an event as grand as the real-world Super Bowl, and all within 1 week. He had his work cut out for him. Left with no other option, Squidward turns to the town.
Is mayonnaise an instrument?
No, Patrick, mayonnaise is not an instrument. I have enough talent for all of you.
This Squid thinks he's gonna have it easy. Your band has people like Patrick and Larry. I wouldn't be laughing if I was you. And Squiddy would discover why after the first band rehearsal.
Brass section, go. And the drums.
Getting everybody in town to form a band that'll perform in the town's biggest show? What could possibly go wrong? And it gets far, far worse. Man, look at Squidward. The poor guy must already be regretting all of his life choices. Things looked hopeless for the band, and at one point it looked like everything would fall apart.
Maybe we wouldn't sound so bad if some people didn't try to play with big, meaty claws! Bring it on, old man! Bring it on!
No, people.
Wait! Take that!
But then comes the ending, and it definitely is one of the most epic, feel-good moments in cartoon history, and it begins with a rousing but hilarious speech by SpongeBob.
What kind of monsters are we? Squidward's always been there for us when it was convenient for him. And Larry, when your heart gave out from all those tanning pills, who revived you?
Some guy in an ambulance.
Right.
SpongeBob? Isn't this supposed to be a speech about Squidward? But what do I know? Let's allow the little sponge to finish his speech.
And discover what it truly means to be in a marching band. Now let's make Squidward proud.
Wow, that actually worked. Now, if I was Squidward by now, I probably would have left town and changed my name. But credit to him, he actually shows up to perform on the day of the show, even though he knew he was going to get mocked into oblivion by Squilliam. But oh, what a twist we get. Because against all odds, the band pulls it off. They sing Sweet Victory to thousands of fans in one of the most emotional, powerful moments in the entire show. This song was so powerful that it was played at the Super Bowl halftime show. Some would even say that this was the episode that made SpongeBob legendary. It was also heartwarming to see Squidward get one over his old rival and be appreciated as a musician for once. All in all, Band Geeks is golden. It's almost impossible not to smile every single time I watch it. But the same season that gave us Band Geeks also gave us some pretty weak episodes, and the episode I think is the worst in season 2 is none other than... The first time I watched I'm With Stupid, I had questions. What in the world is wrong with Patrick? Why did the writers ever think it was a good idea to make Patrick a jerk to his best friend?
Your parents? Dear Patrick, your mama and I are coming out tomorrow for Starfish Day. Love, Daddy.
The story is about Patrick's parents coming to visit, right? Patrick receives a letter and is understandably worried that his parents will mock him for being dumb.
If your parents got to meet a real dummy, they'd realize what a genius you really are. Don't worry, Patrick. I'll be the dummy.
Let me give you a little heads up. SpongeBob is going to regret that plan.
Wow, son. You put the drinks in something this time. We love you.
Guess I understand why Patrick was so worried. His parents treat him like he can't breathe on his own without supervision. Enter SpongeBob again.
No, SpongeBob, no! Shake hands! Grab my dad's hand. Now move your arm up and down.
Okay, this bit was hilarious. SpongeBob really went above and beyond with his acting here.
Whoa! Is he gonna be okay?
But I think this episode took a dark turn when the writers decided it'd be a good idea for Patrick to become a jerk to his best friend, as I literally just said like a minute ago.
Only somebody with holes drilled in their head would wear that stuff.
SpongeBob even tries to get Patrick to cool off, but for some reason, Patrick was convinced his friend was suddenly the stupid one.
Patrick, could you let up on the insults just a little bit?
I'll try dumbing them down a bit.
Patrick's treatment of SpongeBob gets more annoying when you realize that these weren't even Patrick's real parents.
Janet? Marty? Who are you people?
All SpongeBob wanted to do was help a friend, but in the end, he was treated badly by his best friend for people who weren't even his parents. And the worst part for me in this episode was how it ended, without Patrick ever realizing how badly he treated his friend or even attempting to apologize. Ugh. Before this episode drives me completely insane, let's move on to season 3. SpongeBob Meets the Strangler is one of the funniest episodes in the entire series. It introduces us to the Tattletale Strangler, who had the misfortune of crossing paths with SpongeBob.
Where is all this litter coming from? Not on my watch.
What are you gonna do? Call the police?
The amount of police officers showing up to arrest just one guy should have been SpongeBob's first clue that this wasn't just any old litter bug.
Don't you know who that is?
Who?
That's the Tattletale Strangler.
Who?
But thank goodness the guy has already been caught by the cops. Surely SpongeBob has nothing to worry about, right?
Don't worry, SpongeBob. He won't be able to strangle you.
He'll never get away. Yep, he got away.
If this was me, I'd be freaking out. What do you mean a serial killer just escaped the police and is coming after me? I'd say my goodbyes to Bikini Bottom and start a new life as a barnacle somewhere far, far away. But SpongeBob, though, he chooses to explore other options.
When he sees me moves, he'll be running scared. So where is this little bully?
This would be him, Mr. Krabs.
Ah! The Tattletale Strangler! Go away, SpongeBob!
Understandably, everyone is scared of the Tattletale Strangler, even the biggest, toughest guys in town.
Hold me!
Poor SpongeBob, no one is willing to risk their lives to protect him. He finally gets the memo and decides he's gonna skip town before the Strangler finds him.
You don't understand, mister. I need protection from the scariest guy in town. I tattled on him, and now he wants to strangle me with his diabolical hands.
Now, anyone with 2 eyes and a brain cell can see that this is the Strangler with a fake mustache, but SpongeBob is blissfully unaware.
There's too many witnesses around here. Listen, kid, I could be your bodyguard.
You're hired. I feel safer already. What's next?
The maniac could be anywhere.
The Strangler, however, has just one goal: get SpongeBob alone and strangle him. So he follows SpongeBob throughout the town until they finally get home.
Forget the key! Let's climb through this window. Do you think you can hop up on my shoulders, kid?
Sure, with these spiky cleats.
Cleats?
The Strangler thought getting SpongeBob would be easy, but this sponge is putting him through a world of pain, and he doesn't even know that he's dealing with the Strangler.
Get out of my eye sockets!
I'm trying, but my cleats are stuck in your cornea.
SpongeBob feeling sorry for the Strangler only makes this even funnier. And even when they're finally alone, SpongeBob still has an ace up his sleeve.
Now you're gonna get yours, Tattletale!
A surprise party to celebrate my perfect on-time percentage at work?
Sometimes I don't know if SpongeBob is a genius masquerading as a clueless sponge, because just look at this, man.
So we're all alone now.
Just you, me, and the floorboards.
Happy birthday, SpongeBob!
He's not even trying, and he's succeeding in making the Strangler lose his frackin' marbles.
No more parties today. You've got everything you need now. Nobody's left. We're completely alone.
Great parties, huh?
Wait, we can trust Patrick. He's my best friend.
For all we know, he could be the Strangler.
I'm the Strangler?
It's only a matter of time before the Strangler would blow his top, and honestly, I think he endured SpongeBob's shenanigans long enough. He must be one dedicated Strangler.
Gee, you think you know a guy?
He's not the Strangler! I am! Oh, it's a fake, you idiot! I bought it at the party store!
Did someone say party?
Leave it to SpongeBob to annoy a hardened criminal so much that he was willing to do anything to avoid SpongeBob.
Wait, bodyguard! I need protection! Good idea, bodyguard. He'll never find us up here. The Strangler could have been on that plane.
I'm not your bodyguard!
This episode helped me unlock a new level of respect for Squiddy. Being able to deal with SpongeBob and Patrick for years without going insane must be his superpower. All in all, this was a hilarious episode from start to finish, and seeing the Strangler receive justice in the end closes the episode out perfectly. Season 3 had a lot of strong episodes, but Krabby Land has to be the worst episode of the entire season. It starts with Mr. Krabs looking forward to all the children coming to the Krusty Krab during summer break. If you know anything about Mr. Krabs, you'd know that he has only one reason for wanting children at the Krusty Krab: money.
Their pockets lined with allowance. Free to spend their money without any parental guidance whatsoever. Sure, I suppose some would try and take advantage of this situation, but I sleep well at night.
So naturally, he's disappointed when no kids come around because of the fancy new amusement park across town.
See anything, Mr. Krabs?
Oh, they're here all right. So weak and malnourished.
Because this greedy old crab is never going to let money slip away when he can get it. So he comes up with a plan to get the children back into the Krusty Krab.
You're just in time for the grand unveiling of Krabby Land!
But come on, this is money pinching Mr. Krabs we're talking about. So it's no surprise that his amusement park looks like this. And when the children demand a clown, Mr. Krabs, being Mr. Krabs, comes up with the cheapest alternative he can find.
Hey, kids. I'm Krabby's beloved sidekick, the Krabby Patty Burglar.
To me, that's where the best of the episode ends. The rest of it is mostly just, well, this. In the end, to no one's surprise, of course, there was no clown. It was just another con by Mr. Krabs, and after everything SpongeBob had been through, I was just as disappointed.
Hey, kids! Thank you all for coming! Thank you!
How could you, Mr. Krabs? You promised these children Krabby the Clown. What about the children?
The children? I don't care about the children!
Now, Mr. Krabs does get what he deserves, but it still falls flat compared to what he put SpongeBob through.
Oh, hey, kids!
Where's Mr. Krabs? He's missing out on all the summer fun.
Let me go!
Overall, I think Krabby Land has potential, but the slapstick horror got old quickly. Compared to the other episodes in this season, it surely deserves this spot. A lot of fans say that SpongeBob was never the same after Season 3, and while there was definitely a new hand on the helm for Season 4 and beyond, SpongeBob still had some solid episodes, and one of them was just amazing. The Lost Mattress, in my opinion, proved that Season 4 of SpongeBob still had the magic. This episode was unhinged in the best of ways.
Me back!
Are you hurt, Mr. Krabs? No. Oh, good. I thought you were hurt.
I am hurt, you idiot! It's me old lumpy mattress. It's like trying to sleep on broken coral.
So Mr. Krabs is having some nighttime trouble, and ever the kind soul, SpongeBob comes up with an idea.
We should get Mr. Krabs a new mattress and surprise him with it as a gift.
What? You want me to spend my hard-earned money on my richer-than-me skinflint boss? No, thank you.
You know, Squidward has a point. It's not like Mr. Krabs couldn't afford to change his own mattress. If he'd rather suffer than spend money, then maybe SpongeBob should have let him. But SpongeBob goes ahead to change the mattress anyway, not one to be left out though. Squidward does something that would almost literally come back to bite him in the butt.
You're just kissing up to the boss to make me look bad. Well, I won't stand for it.
Mr. Krabs soon discovers that his mattress has been changed, and boy, does he crash out. Squidward is about to regret ever claiming that changing the mattress was his idea, and this is one of the most enjoyable exchanges between both characters in the entire series. You cannot convince me otherwise.
So, where's me old mattress then?
Don't worry, Mr. Krabs. I had it hauled away to the dump.
All my money was in that mattress!
Haven't you ever heard of a bank?
Boy, Squidward must be regretting ever inserting himself into this whole situation because things are about to get pretty dicey for him.
Mr. Krabs is in a cash coma. Only the return of his money can save his life.
It was SpongeBob's fault.
Not so fast. This card says this was all my idea.
With the threat of jail looming, Squidward has to find a way to get the mattress back, but it will not be easy.
Terrific, Patrick! You found it!
Where? Let me see. What?
Underneath that really big guard worm.
That figures.
Meanwhile, the doctors discover that Mr. Krabs, cheapskate that he is, doesn't have health insurance.
Oh, this is horrible.
What is it, Doctor?
This man has no insurance. Extract the patient to the hallway. Stat!
The mattress hunters are still at the dump and have to find a way to get the mattress away from the guard worm. Trying to find a way to save his own skin, Squidward comes up with a wily plan.
You two quietly go in there. Remove the mattress out from under the guard worm.
What are you gonna do?
Oh, I've got the most important job. I'm going to keep watch to make sure it's safe.
Squidward must be feeling like Einstein, but after dealing with SpongeBob and Patrick for years, you'd expect him to know that things rarely go his way around these two.
What are you doing in there? You were supposed to keep watch.
Yeah, and you woke up the guard worm, too.
Back at the hospital, Mr. Krabs is discovering what happens to a patient without health insurance in Bikini Bottom. Did these doctors just allow a comatose patient to roll off into the sunset because he doesn't have health insurance? Relatable! Oh, Squiddy, you never learn, do you? Well, at least Mr. Krabs ended up next to his beloved back-breaking mattress. And oh, I wouldn't worry about Mr. K if I were you. I'd worry about the guard worm instead.
It's me money. Oh, money.
Squidward suffers a lot in this episode, and while he kind of deserves it, the way all his plans backfire throughout it are just hilarious. Season 4 doesn't get any better than this. It does, however, get worse. Believe me when I say, All That Glitters has no redeeming qualities. This episode may just be one of the worst episodes in the entire series.
Monster Krabby Patty, please.
No one's ordered a monster patty in ages.
Oh, dear Neptune.
Oh, boy.
3!
That monster was a bit too strong for his trusted spatula. And trust me, I understand how special the spatula was to SpongeBob, but it gets old quick when he spends a good chunk of the episode doing this. This episode felt mostly like filler, because in between SpongeBob crying and visiting his spatula at the hospital, he spends the time reminiscing on memories with his spatula. After being advised to get a new spatula, SpongeBob sees Le Spatula, an expensive ultra-modern spatula, and sells everything he owns to buy it. And I do mean everything.
That's everything I have. Now can I buy a spatula? Evening, sir.
Now, let's not even talk about how SpongeBob spends more than half this episode naked, while the spatula he literally sold the clothes off his back to buy refused to even make Krabby Patties.
Spat, is there something wrong, pal?
I am designed for the utmost in culinary cuisine. No less! Have a nice life of mediocrity!
I gave up everything for you!
With his fancy new spatula gone, SpongeBob goes back to the hospital, cries some more. Yay!
He's moved on to that big kitchen drawer in the sky.
Oh, by the way, that's not your spatula. Your buddy's all patched up in the infirmary.
Is it just me, or is watching SpongeBob crying naked just kind of disturbing? Yeah, well, unfortunately for me, the crying isn't over yet. Turns out his spatula won't take him back because he cheated on it. What is...
I'm sorry.
And then we have SpongeBob breaking the fourth wall, looking directly into our eyes and saying this.
All that glitters is not gold.
Oh, and some more crying in case you didn't get your fill from it already.
Goodbye, best friend.
SpongeBob returns to the Krusty Krab in tears, only to find a spatula waiting for him, but their joyful reunion is cut short by the same order that started this whole mess, a monster Krabby Patty.
1, 2, 3.
Oh, thank frick, I thought I was in for another 10 minutes of him crying. All that glitters feels like a frackin' fever dream, man. It's hard to point out one good moment from an episode where more than half the time is spent crying, and some of it's spent him crying naked. This was definitely one of SpongeBob's weakest episodes. For season 5, the best episode we got is The Inmates of Summer. Now, I think this is definitely one of the best post-movie SpongeBob episodes. One reason why I love this one so much is how it feels like it's SpongeBob plus Full Metal Jacket. The story begins with SpongeBob leaving for summer camp, but while crying about how much he'd missed Patrick, his boat leaves and is replaced by a boat taking prisoners away.
Patrick, that's it! You can come with me to summer camp!
But I'm not even ready yet!
How about now?
Yep.
This stuff is just my carry-on, Porter. The rest of my things are right over there.
SpongeBob and Patrick have no idea they've missed their boat, even though one look at the warden's face should have given them a clue. So blissfully unaware, they hop on the boat looking forward to a merry adventure.
Welcome to Inferno Island. What in the seven seas just assaulted my eardrums?
They arrive at Inferno Island, and even though they were in the middle of a highly fortified jail and shackled to other prisoners, SpongeBob and Patrick still think they're at summer camp.
Holy fish paste! We got ourselves a couple of rabble-rousers! And are you a rabble-rouser?
Funny you should ask.
Well, I hope you aren't!
SpongeBob and Patrick quickly draw the attention of the warden with their strange behavior. Sure enough, the warden wasn't about to allow any indiscipline in his prison, so he tries to break them.
All right, let him out. Now pay attention, worms, and see what's waiting for you.
It was quite an enjoyable soak.
But even after days of horrifying punishment, SpongeBob and Patrick's spirits are still up. And as you can imagine, they still don't realize that this isn't summer camp.
Activity so heart-wrenchingly boring and physically exhausting to render your soul broken beyond repair.
Yay! This is a pretty fun camp game, huh, Patrick?
Yeah.
SpongeBob was having the time of his life, but he notices that the other inmates aren't as happy as he is. So he decides to organize a play that'll cheer everyone up. Shockingly, the warden agrees to watch the play, but only because he gets to punish SpongeBob if it's terrible. Good thing Spongy here is a performing genius, and they put together a very moving song.
I've never seen anything so beautiful in
SpongeBob!
The inmates didn't agree to join the play for the fun of it. One of the props just happened to be a big old boat. So as soon as the curtain fell on their performance, the inmates set up their escape plan into motion. Things, however, did not go according to plan.
What are you doing?
We're breaking out of here, that's what. Escaping! What the?
SpongeBob might be a performer, but he ain't no builder, that's for sure.
Turn the ship around!
Not sure why they thought the stage prop would function as a working ship, but the inmates clearly aren't the smartest fish in the barrel. Well, they paid the price for their foolishness because they ended up right back with the warden, and this time, he wasn't crying anymore.
Words cannot attempt to describe the disgusting, the complete disregard for the storied tradition of musical theater.
Oh. That's what he was mad about? Well, just before he announces his punishment, he is interrupted by the counselor from SpongeBob's summer camp.
I was doing roll call and discovered one of my son funners was missing. A SpongeBob, SquarePants?
Enough!
After hearing all the boring activities that go on at summer camp, the warden has an idea for the perfect punishment for his inmates.
Oh, that is very good, Bruiser.
I like the other island better.
Me too!
You know it's bad when even SpongeBob and Patrick are bored. Despite how funny that was, Season 5 had a lot of weak episodes, to be honest, but the worst one for me has to be To Love a Patty. To put it simply, this episode was weird.
I have never seen such a lovely group of patties. Such perfection, from your little lettuce hair to your rosy ketchup cheeks.
In this episode, SpongeBob makes the perfect patty and just falls in love with it.
A patty like you comes around once in a lifetime. That which is fried must be eaten.
SpongeBob, where is that other... Oh, there it is.
Oh, Patty, I can't let them eat you. Your beauty must be preserved.
Not figuratively, mind you, he literally falls in love with a sandwich. He saves it from being eaten and promises to never let it out of his sight. After the whole spatula thing, I was already worried for SpongeBob, and this episode made it 1,000 times worse. Why did the writers keep thinking it was okay for SpongeBob to keep being in these types of situations with inanimate objects? And they made it even weirder this time.
Hey, SpongeBob, you didn't forget about our plan to go a-chopping, did you?
Sorry, Sandy. I'm going for a rowboat ride with Patty.
SpongeBob takes his unhealthy attachment to the patty to a whole new creepy level. He treats the patty like he's an actual person with feelings. Again, he's literally in love with a burger.
Let go of her, you patty eaters! No! Get away! Hiya! Hiya! Patty? You okay, sweetums?
We just watched SpongeBob murder a bunch of clams to save a patty. If I wasn't already worried about SpongeBob, then I definitely am now. What's wrong with our boy? Just listen to what he says here. Tell me if this doesn't make you uncomfortable.
Baby, I love you so strong. Sweeter than honey from your pickles to your buns.
Even Mr. Krabs sees how crazy the whole situation is, and he says what I think is on the minds of most people watching this disturbing episode.
Mr. Krabs, Squidward, allow me to introduce my date, Patty.
We think the boys really lost it.
You know things are really bad when Squidward goes out of his way to advise SpongeBob. I was eating lunch when I watched this next scene, and it definitely was not a pretty sight. Brace yourselves.
What are you doing with my beautiful Patty?
How beautiful do you think this is?
Oh, frick. I'm gonna,
Get out of my way, please.
He's been carrying that around and touching his face with it? Thankfully, he comes to his senses after a story from Mr. Krabs about how Krabby Patties are to be loved and eaten, so SpongeBob decides to say goodbye to the patty.
Oh, Patty, my darling, I want you to know that I only do it out of love.
It was like the writers decided that SpongeBob had to be one with the patty one way or another. Like, why couldn't he just throw it away? Without discussing, this episode is the worst episode from the future seasons would have to be something bonkers, right? But before that, let's cleanse our eyes with the best episode from Season 6, please. After the trauma of watching SpongeBob romancing a sandwich, Season 6 thankfully gives us a breather with Suction Cup Symphony. And honestly, this episode's pure fun.
Sounds like Squidward ate at Mario's last night.
Bikini Bottom Symphony Orchestra. Original compositions wanted?
We see Squidward making, or at least trying to make, music. This time he's composing a piece for the Suction Cup Symphony. But there's a little problem in the shape of a sponge and starfish.
Don't worry, Squidward. We'll do it together.
No!
Are you sure you don't need any help, Squidward?
No, thank you.
I personally love the constant clashing that goes on between the trio in this episode. I think it brings back the energy that made the early seasons so iconic.
Brilliant. No!
Another thing I love about this episode is how it balances the iconic slapstick humor with personality and story. The jokes hit, the characters are funny, and even the faces that the characters are making are hilarious. It feels like something straight out of the classic first 3 seasons.
I did it.
Despite all the odds, he did it. Squidward sends in his composition and it's actually accepted for presentation at the Suction Cup Symphony.
I wrote down everything I heard.
Let me take a moment to say that this is one of the best instrumentals I've heard in the entire series, and Balloon Patrick crashing into Squidward, perfection.
That little yellow guy is awesome!
Oh yeah, but the real genius is the composer. Squidward! Squidward!
Watching this episode, I was just happy that for once SpongeBob and Patrick's chaos actually helped Squiddy. And after watching an episode like To Love a Patty, I was happy to finally watch an episode that just clicks. No gross out humor or forced weirdness, just a really solid, funny, and entertaining SpongeBob story. Sadly, I can't say the same for the worst episode of that same season. Grooming Gary, in my opinion, is the worst episode of season 6, and no, it's not just because of the title.
Bikini Bottom Pet Show today! Good thing I put those notes there, otherwise I could have forgotten. Not that any other pets stand a chance against my buddy Gary.
SpongeBob decides to enter Gary in a pet grooming competition, but after seeing some of the pets at the competition, SpongeBob decides that Gary needs a makeover to compete, even though Gary clearly doesn't want it.
Come on, buddy. There. We have got to show those other pets that we are just as fancy as they are.
Gary isn't the only one going through forced makeovers. Every pet owner at the show is obsessed with winning, at the expense of their pets, of course.
There you go, Mupsies. Oh, isn't that cute?
Eventually, the pets have had enough. Gary starts a revolt that turns the show upside down.
Mupsies.
Now, I get what the writers were going for, a pointer on how animals are often mistreated for human entertainment, but honestly, it's hard to enjoy the message when the episode is so uncomfortable to watch.
What's this about? Does anyone speak snail?
I speak a little bit, sir. They're saying, owners, please don't be this way. They want to be treated as companions, not dress-up dolls.
Even though the pets got their revenge, I was still quite unsatisfied. I think the writers could have executed things better. Oh, and somehow there was still a winner at the pet show.
Maybe these pageants aren't so superficial after all.
The snail didn't win. I was referring to your other pet. Woof, woof.
Season 7, in my opinion, is not too different from Season 6 in terms of quality, but I think the #1 episode has to be Enchanted Tiki Dreams.
Wow. Those two were just so amazingly stupid.
This episode follows Squidward, who just wants some peace in his life, but living between SpongeBob and Patrick makes that almost impossible, especially after 7 seasons.
No, no, no!
Even at home, Squidward still can't get the peace he wants, and it nearly drives him insane.
I really want is to live in a world where I can just relax in peace. Is that too much to ask?
Poor Squiddy. Sometimes he's the most relatable character in the entire show. The squid just wants to be able to have peace in his home, and for once, SpongeBob gets it.
Squidward is really, really sad.
You're right.
How about we do something extra special for him?
Maybe SpongeBob and Patrick finally understand that they've not been the best of neighbors because they decided to do something special for Squiddy, and they actually pull it off.
All right, you two! It's beautiful. It's too good to be true.
Squidward's Tiki Land vacation was a refreshing, happy experience for Squidward, and I was happy seeing Squidward get a change from his usual torment. His vacation also gave us the catchy Tiki song.
Ordering from a coconut.
Here in Squidward's Tiki Land.
But perhaps the best part of this whole episode was that SpongeBob and Patrick's actions were voluntary. They wanted to make Squidward happy, and they did. But all good things must come to an end.
My world!
Despite the destruction of Tiki Land, though, Squidward still gets a happy ending. A very enjoyable SpongeBob episode overall. This season also has a couple of bad episodes, but I think Trench Billy's has to take the cake here. SpongeBob and Patrick fall into the land of the Trench Billies while jellyfishing, and from there, this episode just gets weird. The animation style is creepy, and the majority of this episode is belching and gross out humor.
I swears I ain't fibbing, Mo. Just ask Uncle Belcher.
Let's not even talk about the stereotype this episode leans on. I wonder who at Nickelodeon reviewed this episode and said, yeah, that looks fine. After completing multiple challenges, SpongeBob and Patrick are accepted as members of the Trench Billies, but that outcome comes with certain responsibilities.
You've been given the great honor of taking care of Ma for the rest of your natural-born lives. This ain't going nowhere.
Oh, please, Mr. Trench Billy.
They eventually escape back to the Krusty Krab with the Trench Billies in pursuit, and somehow Mr. Krabs' greed turns the whole thing into a wedding? And that's Trench Billies, an episode that honestly probably shouldn't have made it to TV. Season 8, please. I'm giving It's a SpongeBob Christmas the spot as the best episode for Season 8. The unique stop-motion animation is easily one of the most creative things SpongeBob has ever done. Not so much these days because they've overdone it. The animation looks gorgeous, the story is wholesome, the jokes landed. It's Christmas in Bikini Bottom, and everyone is out decorating, though for very different reasons.
Mystery, la 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 la. Hi, Squidward. What are you doing today?
Stringing lights so Santa knows to go away!
Ooh, what's that?
A trap for Santa!
Especially Plankton. For years, he's only gotten coal from Santa thanks to his naughty schemes. So this time, he hatches a plan.
I'll give everyone in Bikini Bottom a present of the most innocent of all holiday goodies. The fruitcake, laced with jerktonium. And then I'll finally get what I really want for Christmas.
Jerktonium, huh? Hey, Plankton, you haven't been feeding my neighbor any of your fruitcakes by chance, have you? But the first person he runs into is SpongeBob.
Here, try some more.
Don't mind if I do.
How's your dander? Is it up?
How can I possibly be angry when my taste buds are swimming in Christmas cheer?
Somehow, SpongeBob is immune. He's just too sweet a guy. Plankton gives up his plan, but SpongeBob, being SpongeBob, decides to share the fruitcake with the rest of the town. The Jerktonium works.
Well, why don't you get a job and buy all that junk yourself?
That's it. I'm out of here.
Plankton is obviously thrilled to see his plan working, but there's one problem. SpongeBob is still too nice, so to ensure SpongeBob ends up in Santa's naughty list, Plankton creates an evil robotic SpongeBob and unleashes it to cause chaos across Bikini Bottom.
What's going on out here?
SpongeBob finally realizes that something is seriously wrong and rushes to Sandy, but she too is now a jerk. Luckily, they stumble onto a clue that helps them figure it out.
Well, I'll be Hornswoggle. My analyzers found something in the fruitcake. This is terrible.
What is it, Sandy?
The fruitcake is contaminated with jerktonium.
Now they just need an antidote, and what they find is definitely unusual.
That's no formula. That's a song. Sandy!
SpongeBob is able to restore the Christmas spirit to Bikini Bottom, but it's too late. The whole town ends up on Santa's naughty list, except Plankton, who finally gets his wish.
What? I'm just as surprised as you, but he's been a saint. I believe this is what you asked for.
Me secret formula?
Looks like everything's coming up, Plankton. Just one tiny problem, though. Robot SpongeBob is still on the loose, and he sets his sights on Santa. Now it's up to the real SpongeBob to step in and save the day.
Santa, hop on!
After realizing who built the dang robot in the first place, Santa gives Plankton exactly what he deserves.
Let's give Plankton what he deserves.
What What an amazing episode. Who doesn't love Christmas specials? On the other hand, Face Freeze, in my opinion, is easily the worst episode of Season 8. It starts off with Mr. Krabs warning SpongeBob and Patrick not to make any funny faces because if they do, their faces might freeze that way.
Oh, this is easy.
But of course, SpongeBob and Patrick don't listen. What follows is basically just SpongeBob and Patrick twisting their faces into very weird and honestly disturbing shapes. It's just one stretched out montage of creepy faces with no real stakes or payoffs, and like most bad SpongeBob episodes, it gets old pretty quickly, especially when their faces actually get stuck like that.
Mr. Krabs is right. Patrick, we have the face freeze. Patrick, Sandy was right. We need help.
Even the part when their faces actually freeze ends up feeling more weird than funny.
Oh, why? Why did I have to make a face?
What's going on back here? I see what's going on here.
In the end, even Mr. Krabs and Squidward can't escape the freeze.
Just, no! I can't move my face!
I thought that was a myth. Crabs, too? Oh.
Ugh. This was an idea that may have worked as a quick joke, but definitely not a full-on episode. Season 9 is one of the weakest seasons of SpongeBob, but it still had some decent episodes.
This thing's frozen. Barnacle! This shake is disgusting! Why, you probably don't even have a license to milkshake.
Oh look, he said the name of the episode. That's right, the best episode of the season is License to Milkshake. SpongeBob meets Captain Frosty Mouth, a legendary milkshake maker at the Milkshaking Academy because his license expired.
Let's not beat around the bush here, boys. My sole purpose is to transform you from mere guppies into cool, licensed milkshake-making guppies.
Captain Frosty is tough and hard as nails, but our boy SpongeBob is determined to prove himself and earn that license.
Mr. Krabs is right. Milkshaking sure has changed over the years.
Very good. But how does it taste?
But just like boating, SpongeBob struggles to get the hang of making milkshakes. The new technology only serves to make it even harder for him, and he quickly becomes the brunt of the jokes from his fellow cadets. One thing I liked about this episode is how they cleverly snuck in multiple pop culture references. Even the name of the episode, License to Milkshake, is an invitation to the famous James Bond movie License to Kill. The captain, fed up with SpongeBob's inadequacies, decides to show him how to use the machine, but, well, that turns out to be a bad idea.
I haven't touched a milkshake machine in 20 years.
In the end, the captain reveals a secret to SpongeBob. He doesn't need machines to make a milkshake because making milkshakes comes from the heart. And that did the trick.
You've redeemed yourself, SpongeBob. This is the best milkshake I've ever had.
Where'd you learn those moves, SpongeBob?
That would be from me. I'd like to give you this.
My milkshake license.
All in all, License to Milkshake was pretty solid. Unfortunately, I can't say the same for Season 9's worst episode, Squid Baby.
Grown-up lifestyle, so keep it down! Get out,
This episode is focused on Squidward, who starts acting like a baby after injuring his head. The humor in this episode relies on Squidward being helpless and SpongeBob trying and mostly failing to help him, but it comes off as more disturbing than funny. Even the slapstick doesn't land the same way, and there was no clever twist or emotional payoff to make up for it.
Taking care of a baby sure is hard.
You said it. I'm exhausted.
In the end, we got an episode that showed SpongeBob suffering for something that wasn't even really his fault.
Squidward!
If I had to describe Squid Baby in one sentence, it would be this: a weird, unfunny episode that made me want to skip ahead to the next one, and coming right after a heartwarming episode like License to Milkshake just makes this one feel worse. So on to Season 10. Season 10 actually surprised me. It's a bit inconsistent, but it ended on a surprisingly strong note with feral friends. In this episode, a strange green light turns everyone in Bikini Bottom into primitive, real animal versions of themselves. A wild concept, sure, but it's executed so beautifully that it instantly stands out.
Everyone listen to me! Get away from the light! The light is bad! Hello? Hello? Carl?
Cindy quickly notices that it seems the strange light only affects sea creatures, and she rushes to find anyone who hasn't already been affected by the light.
Hey, put me down, Sadie! What is the meaning of...
Get in the shade!
Together with Squidward, Sandy tries to find out what's going on, and she soon gets her answer from none other than the French narrator himself.
I have been monitoring the behavior of the green moon all day. It de-evolves everyone in Bikini Bottom into primal fish for 2 hours.
2 hours?
But eventually, even Squidward is de-evolved by Neptune's moon, and it actually saves his life.
Squidward! No! OMG!
Okay, so Squidward just ate someone, right? That was so surprising I almost didn't notice how incredible the animation in this episode is, especially for the realistic transformations. How does Sandy protect her friends from a giant primitive Squidward? She calls on the squid's natural enemy, of course.
Sorry, Squidward!
Luckily for everyone, the fight lasts just long enough.
Oh, 2 hours is up? Thank goodness.
As it descends back into the earth from whence it came.
The beauty of this episode, though, is how it feels like it's a true adventure. There's real tension, creativity that keeps you hooked from the beginning into the end of the episode. I also like how it adds lore to the SpongeBob universe. I'm a big lore guy.
My clothes!
Feral Friends showed that SpongeBob still had its magic despite the ups and downs. I'm looking at you, Squid Baby. And speaking of downs, here's the worst episode from Season 10. Housewarming. I don't even know if I should give you like a trigger warning before we go into this one, but yeah, that's how bad it is.
Gary the snail, is that any way to treat an uninvited guest? Ooh, that tickles. More like prickles.
This episode starts out simple enough. A worm makes its way into SpongeBob, and the kind-hearted sponge decides to let it stay for a night. Talk about turning an inch into a mile. Not only do these worms make SpongeBob's body their home, they refuse to leave when he asks them to.
What the heck is squatters' rights?
Ooh, they're lawyering up. They're making a legal claim to keep living in your body.
Yeah, already? This episode is uncomfortable to watch. He runs to his friends looking for help, and most of the gross-out gags made my skin crawl.
Oh, it's a monster with SpongeBob's voice!
In the end, it takes SpongeBob almost going completely crazy to get rid of the worms.
Just call me SpongeBob Worm Pants, because that's all I am.
By the end, I was just wondering what message the writers were going for with this one. There's no lesson or charm to this one. It's just discomfort from start to finish. Let's leave this behind already. Move on to the best of Season 11, please. Squid Noir has to be one of the smartest, most creative SpongeBob episodes in years.
Make it stop!
Mr. Squidward! Quit the calamitous cacophony!
It begins with Squidward and his clarinet being a major nuisance in Bikini Bottom, so it almost comes as no surprise to anyone when Squidward discovers that his clarinet is missing. But instead of a regular investigation, the show turns into a full-on detective mystery, shot entirely in black and white.
That's how it began. My life smashed to bits. My living room covered in broken dreams. And that's when I saw him. My first suspect.
Bubble Bass even makes a reappearance. This time, though, he's one of the main suspects on Squidward's list.
Bubble Bath!
Where were you this afternoon? Where's Squidward's clarinet?
I don't know what you're talking about.
What makes this episode so good, in my opinion, isn't just the visuals, but also the writing. It gives noir. Even the way they fit SpongeBob into the episode is perfect. As Squidward's sidekick, he's the cheerful side to Squidward's dark and moody persona.
When we arrived at Jellyfish Fields, I could already hear my clarinet's dulcet tones. My baby!
In addition to adding color to Squidward's world, solving the case of the missing clarinet also led Squidward to perhaps one of the only living fans of his music.
Squidward, yeah! Yeah, Squidward!
This episode was a bold experiment that paid off, and I think if modern SpongeBob had more episodes like this, then more fans would have gotten behind the later seasons. Squid Noir was a creative masterpiece. Ink Lemonade, however? No.
Here you go.
Yum!
This one focuses on Patrick selling lemonade made out of Squidward's ink, and it takes everything that makes most SpongeBob episodes bad and amplifies it. We're forced to sit through the episode watching Patrick torture Squidward for ink.
Scare the ink out of him. May I borrow a cup of squid squeezing?
It's not funny, not clever. We're watching Squidward get violated on a personal level, and the only thing we can do to escape it is just stop watching. It's such a shame because season 11 had some very creative episodes like Squid Noir, Doodle Dimension. An episode as disturbing as Ink Lemonade should never have made the cut in any season, in my opinion.
I helped you, young man!
I'd have to give the best episode of season 12 to Dream Hoppers. Even though it's almost like a remake of Sleepy Time from season 1, it's still one of the best episodes of the season, and that speaks a lot to how much the quality of the show had changed by its 12th season. It begins with SpongeBob coming home after a long day at the Krusty Krab.
Good night. Eat tight. Eat tight.
From his vivid dream, SpongeBob goes on an adventure jumping through the dreams of various characters in the show. And like I said, while it is very similar to Sleepy Time, the advances in animation and transitions since season 1 makes this episode just a little bit better, I'd say. After crashing Patrick's dreams, SpongeBob and Patrick end up in Squidward's dreams, and here he is king. Pretty good episode. It worked for me. It gives that Tom and Jerry vibe. It's still surprisingly funny. Even the closing scene, strange as it may have been for Squidward, is funny in a wonderful way to close out the episode. Now, most fans agree that season 12 is one of the worst seasons of SpongeBob, so as you'd expect, it has a lot of not so good episodes. My pick for the worst one of the season, though, is the Nitwitting.
It's the Empty Head Society, where guys like me can give their powerful intellects a much-needed rest.
Can I join?
Sure, anyone can join.
The entire episode revolves around SpongeBob and Patrick after they join a club that celebrates being stupid. SpongeBob has to give up his brain to join the club, and I wonder if the episode joined the club as well, because it is pure chaos and almost nothing else. I mean, just look at this.
It's time to pass the jar! Drink! Drink! Drink!
Yeah, in case you were wondering, he drinks it. I'm not going to show you that. You're welcome, by the way.
These lights could use a smile.
Why would people throw their stinky garbage in these beautiful cans?
Maybe their pockets were already full.
I can clearly see you're not as brainless as us. I can't see anything.
After running wild through the town with the Empty Head Society and causing havoc, SpongeBob wanders without a brain and is lost until Patrick finds him and gives him his brain back.
This stupid one. I'm ready.
Now in full control of his senses, SpongeBob decides to fix the mess the Empty Heads caused, but that's when he discovers Sandy in her own club.
Sandy? You cleaned everything up?
Of course, SpongeBob. I belong to a club called FEMA. Our civic duty is repairing the mayhem that the Empty Heads cause every month.
In the end, this was an episode with a weak story, zero fun. I can't think of a single redeeming factor for this one at all. It's episodes like the nitwitting that made so many fans lose interest in modern SpongeBob. Let's just see what season 13 has to offer.
Floating face down in a swimming pool. How did I get here?
Oh wow, look at that opening. You just know it's going to be a good episode. Swimming Fools follows SpongeBob, Squidward, and Patrick on a particularly hot day in Bikini Bottom.
I'm putting in a pool.
A pool? I only swim in sophisticated pool.
But with the day becoming even hotter, Squidward begins to long for the pool. His pride, however, stops him from taking up SpongeBob's offer. It gets so bad for Squiddy that he even starts having hallucinations.
Hey, Squidward.
What?
Don't be a drip. Take a dip.
He sneaks into the pool and spends the whole night swimming. Squidward is so caught up in the experience that he forgets to leave before morning and is almost caught.
This big, ugly one! It needs more air. That ought to do it.
Poor Squidward. He should have just accepted SpongeBob's offer. Watching SpongeBob and Patrick unintentionally torture Squidward as they played with their pool toy is one of the most hilarious moments in this episode.
It's me! I was the pool toy, you idiots!
That's the greatest magic trick I've ever seen!
I used your pool without permission. I'm really jealous of it.
In the end, we get a wholesome moment with SpongeBob and Squidward, which was really nice, especially since they're almost always at odds. And remember how the episode started? With Squidward face down in the pool? Well, this is how that happened. All in all, pretty enjoyable, funny, and memorable episode. On the other hand, Pat the dog follows Patrick, who throughout the whole episode behaves like a dog.
Patrick's my friend. Sometimes he goes into worm mode.
What we get is an episode of SpongeBob treating Patrick like a dog, grooming him, trying to train him, ensure he's not locked up.
Almost. Let's try another one. Shall we try roll over?
It's not the worst SpongeBob episode we've seen so far, to be honest, but compared to the other episodes this season, it is pretty weak. Patrick continues to be a menace, and SpongeBob pleads with Squiddy to try and tame him.
Now, be a good boy. Have a nice life.
Squidward's attempts to tame Patrick are not only hilarious, but they also lead to one of the funniest moments in the entire episode.
Excuse me, Mr. Squidward. SpongeBob tells me that you've trained Patrick using tough love. What? You did it! You're a miracle worker! Bring him in, fellas! The butcher!
Oh, you said
Good afternoon, gentlemen. Nice day for a walk.
Gets me every time. Modern SpongeBob seasons really lowered the bar, but Squidiot Box stands out as a rare gem. It's a sequel to the classic Idiot Box from Season 3, and honestly, I still think it's the best episode from Season 14. Maybe because it's related to actual greatness.
This dumb old box is just junk now.
Hey!
Where'd he go?
You must have jostled something and fixed it.
The episode takes us on an adventure throughout the Imagination Box, a space where anything is possible as long as you can imagine it.
I need a flashlight.
Just imagine a flashlight.
Oh, yeah, right. What the? Oh, it worked.
Now that Squidward, after 14 seasons, finally understands the abilities of the box, he uses it to set off on a relaxing vacation by a sunny beach, but leave it to SpongeBob and Patrick to turn a peaceful getaway into a nightmare.
You must know I'm relaxing under an umbrella surrounded by beautiful tropical plants.
You're in a jungle.
No, it's not a jungle.
Snakes!
Patrick's wild imaginations had me laughing multiple times throughout the episode. What makes it even funnier is that he's not doing it out of malice for Squiddy. Patrick is just being stupid old Patrick.
Would you two clam up?
Oh, I forgot to mention the clams.
Giant clam! It could be fun.
Oh! A stampede of sea elephants! Are there dinosaurs in the jungle?
Oh, no.
While this episode isn't as amazing as the best episodes from the other seasons, it does do something, right? The jokes are funny, and since everything happens inside the imagination box, it's actually easy to laugh at Squidward's suffering here.
Good old boring Krusty Krab. I'm actually happy to be back. May I take your order, sir?
Should we tell him?
Nah, he sounds so happy.
Unfortunately, I think Buff for Puff has to be the worst episode of season 14.
I gotcha, bro!
Thank you, Larry. Thank you.
This episode focuses on Mr. Krabs and his relationship with Mrs. Puff. After being saved from drowning by Larry, please don't ask me how it's possible for a sea creature in the ocean to drown, Mr. Krabs suddenly starts worrying that Mrs. Puff might leave him for the more handsome, muscular lifeguard, so naturally he decides to do something about it.
I gotta get in shape before my next date.
And you're gonna help.
But deciding to work out and actually working out are two very different things. Trust me, I know. And Mr. Krabs is about to learn that the hard way.
Anyone as workout averse as you. I just don't know how to motivate you.
Ooh, I know how to motivate him.
Money, 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 money. Money, money.
When he still fails to get ripped after 168 hours of money-motivated exercise, he does what only Mr. Krabs would do, steal Larry's shell to impress Mrs. Puff.
Hey there, ma'am. Is this beach taken?
Oh my, Eugene.
Now, this episode isn't terrible, just really weird in some places, and the Krabs-Puff relationship just comes off as awkward here. In the end, it's just a really forgettable episode.
I'm not into muscle-bound, self-centered jerks.
What's that?
I like my boys a little soft around the edges. That's why Larry and I have a beach date tomorrow.
Season 15 was surprisingly good. The final full season of SpongeBob produced many good episodes, but the best episode of the season has to be A Fish Named Sandy. This episode proved that the creators of SpongeBob could still make episodes similar to the older seasons and make them work well.
Wish you could experience the ocean like I do.
My fish you up machine. With this device, I'll swap out my squirrel DNA with fish DNA, and then I'll be able to breathe water.
I can't blame Sandy. I mean, she already spends all her time underwater. Who wouldn't want to ditch the heavy suit and be able to breathe freely underwater?
Let's get you a breath of fresh water. Let it flow through your gills. Huh? Oh, no!
Yay! Ha! I'm a water breather.
With her new gills, Sandy and SpongeBob explore Bikini Bottom, doing all the things they were never able to fully do together. It's wholesome to watch and still quite funny. But like all good sci-fi movies, something goes wrong with Sandy's transformation, and it's something neither her nor SpongeBob ever saw coming.
You over-scienced yourself! Oh no! She's devolved! I gotta help her!
It all comes down to SpongeBob to save his friend, and after some clever thinking and lots of running, he's able to get Sandy into her dome where he can try to save her.
And now, the re-evolution serum!
I love this episode. It really proved that modern SpongeBob can still deliver.
My legs!
My furry legs!
All right. Fred.
Sammy Suckerfish is my pick for the worst episode of season 15, and that says a lot about how good this season was.
I wish I had a friend to help me clean this place up. Whoa, 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 whoa!
Why, I'm Sammy Suckerfish, the Jolly Janitor. I am.
This episode introduces us to the character of Sammy Suckerfish, who appears to help SpongeBob clean out the Krusty Krab, but his cleaning methods are strange.
Now give your tongue a go.
This episode goes all out on gross humor. I don't know why the writers thought that what we needed to watch was SpongeBob and Sammy cleaning an extremely dirty Krusty Krab with their tongues.
Lick all the doors, lick up the ceiling, lick up the floors, lick all the dirt up, that's the plan. Split the dirt up in the place, lick all the dirt up off your face. Yum!
Sammy's impulsive cleaning ends up with him cleaning out the secret formula, and the rest of the episode is SpongeBob, Mr. Krabs, and Plankton trying to retrieve it. In the end, Sammy gives SpongeBob the secret formula before wiping himself out of existence. And he still found a way to somehow make it gross.
So long, and don't say I never give you nothing.
If you can look past all the gross moments, then this episode is kind of enjoyable, I guess. I just feel the writers could have done more with this idea. Wow, what a ride that was. We made it through the best and worst of every season of SpongeBob. But if you still want to see more videos just like this one, click on the screen right now. I'm sure you'll enjoy it. Bye-bye, and as always, thank you for watching.